Good afternoon. I'm Daniel Guest, and welcome to the Imagine Golf Podcast, brought to you by Imagine Golf and PXG. You can go to our site, imaginegolf.com, and see all of our offerings, including our free drills, our practice plans, our golf ebooks and videos, or to book a lesson with me in our state-of-the-art studio right outside of Philadelphia. And you can sign up for our free videos and tips that go out once a week, every week, by simply dropping us your email, or you can even take a virtual lesson through our virtual partner, golfliveapp.com. All right, so look, simple podcast today, maybe a little bit controversial, maybe a little bit hypocritical, some people will say, but I think if you listen to it all 15 minutes of it, you'll realize that it's neither controversial or hypocritical, but it is a topic that I see every day, man. And today just pushed me over the edge. So it's the title is simply, hey, man, stop videoing your swing. Stop videoing your swing, all right? Look, here's what happened. Look, I have the privilege of working out of a state-of-the-art indoor studio and not just a driving range like when we first started. And not that there's anything wrong with the range. But when I go to the range, I'm forever walking in or walking around either a tripod or someone's got their camera on a basket that was used for the balls. They got it set up on some device that clips on an alignment stick. They got it pinned up on their bag somehow. They got it back on against the wall. I mean, always someone is videoing their swing, right? And I get it, right? I mean, I get it. It's a tool and, it's free and you're going to do it. So it's funny, man. I've been teaching now full-time for over 4 years now. I've been teaching total for 10. And I remember when I first started, when I first got certified, video was a big thing with instructors, right? And we're going back 10 years though, right? So there was no real data back then. Launch monitors hadn't really come about, and they certainly didn't come about for the masses, right? So video was a big thing, man. And if you didn't have video, you weren't one of the better top line instructors, if you would. Fast forward to today, I've had conversations with some pretty highfalutin and qualified instructors. Hank Haney comes to mind. Chris Cuomo comes to mind. Hank Haney even talks about it publicly, where in the 6 or 7 years he worked with Tiger, he videoed his swing 3 times. Chris Cuomo talks about his time with Jason Day. He's videoed him less than half a dozen times. So, if that's the case, right, then what are we doing, right? What are we doing videoing our swing every 2 seconds, every 20 seconds, every minute, whatever the number is? You get the idea, right? So, look, let me just go through, before I go through why you should do it, let me preface everything that I'm saying with there is value in videoing. As an example, if you're with an instructor and the instructor has given you instructions on how to video and what to look for, that's different. If you're checking in with an instructor, so in other words, hey, something's going afoul or awry, and I really can't figure it out. Here's a video as best I can and send it to an instructor. There is a place for that. But I'm talking about, in general, just the average Joe, the 20-plus handicapper, you know who you are, right? 20 million of you, that is putting a camera down in some way, shape, or form and looking for something, right? Checking out their swing. So let me tell you why it's not a good idea. The first and foremost idea or reason why it's not a good idea is that you lose focus. You lose focus on what you're trying to accomplish, which is hit the ball relatively straight and far, right? If you're worried about videoing your swing, I guarantee you are not focused on hitting the golf ball, right? John Jacobs famously said, and I repeat it every day, all day, golf is what the ball does, right? So you are doing something with your club and your club face to impact that golf ball a certain way. So if it's going to the right, you're doing something to make it go right. If it's going to the left, you're doing something to make it go left. If it's going straight, God bless you, you're doing something to make it go straight. So when we're videoing ourselves, a lot of times the students lose focus on just that, on hitting the golf ball. So that's an overarching reason. When you go to the range, you should be working on something, right? You should have something definitive that you're working on, a plan. You should not be worried about, hey, I got to press the camera, get back to the video or get back to the ball, set up my golf swing, hit the golf ball, run back to the camera, turn it off. flip it through, again, let's see it again this way. All right, let me turn the phone. You get the idea, right? It's just when you say it out loud, it's just, there's no way you can be focused. So that's the number one reason. Number two, these are not necessarily in order, but these two are very close in order. Look, most amateurs have no idea what they're looking for, right? No idea what they're looking for. And I don't want to hear, I watch Rick Shields, I watch this guru, I watch Michael Breed, whatever. That doesn't matter, all right? They've never seen your swing, and you obviously don't know what you're looking for because you're not a golf instructor. So I think if you don't know what you're doing, more times than not, you're going to do more negative. I almost said something worse than negative, but you're going to do more harm than you're going to do good, right? So for that reason, and for those two reasons, I wouldn't do it, all right? I just wouldn't do it, okay? Another reason is it's just a waste of time, right? Everyone is always complaining in America about they don't have time, they don't have time, they don't have time. And golfers in particular, I don't have time to practice. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to work on my short game. Don't have time to work on putting. Well, if you don't have any time, what are you doing throwing more time wasting opportunities into the mix, right? So it takes time to film. It takes time to set something up. It takes time to make sure it's correct, right? And that alone, if you just say it out loud, it's a waste of time. So I'm not a big fan, all right? Another reason, setting up the camera. I assure you, if you don't set up the camera properly, you are not getting the proper view of what you're looking for. And again, a professional, right? A golf professional has been trained on where and how to set up a camera, right? And I can tell you that we spend a lot of time and energy training our individuals on exactly how and not to do it. In fact, we put them through a little test after they get certified. So they get certified on how to do it by our USGTF. And then we actually go through at Imagine Golf on how to actually work the camera. And we show them the differences. And there's a famous a study in the golf circles where a guy put out two of the exact same videos. And the byline underneath it was, what's wrong with one of these swings, right? And you ought to see all the comments that came out, right? Oh, swing A is this, and then swing B is that, and the elbow in swing A is this, and the elbow in swing B is that. And in reality, they were the exact same swing. Tens of thousands of comments from people that think they know what they're talking about, and it was the exact same swing, right? So, the angle and the position and the height and the lighting and all of that have a lot to do and can mask and or change the way a swing looks. So again, don't even bother. It's just a waste of time. Another reason, people are always looking for problems, right? Just like in that example I just gave you, they were the exact same video, right? And yet everyone is looking for a problem and they're looking for a difference, all right? And their comments, right, are going to make a difference, if you would. Oh, move forward, move that body weight forward. Oh, look at the wrist at the top of the backswing. All this garbage, if you would, right? So I know amateurs have a tendency to look for something that is not relevant or germane to what they're doing. And what I mean by that, look, at Imagine Golf, all we worry about is a more efficient golf swing, a more efficient use of your body to hit the ball the best that you can, so that it's repeatable and that you don't even have to think about it. You can do it. What we don't care about is how a swing looks, right? We don't give one rat's ass on how a swing looks, all right? Now, definitely how it performs, and definitely, obviously, if you're doing something and the swing performs and the ball, it goes the right way, but it's ultimately going to hurt you, then we don't do that. But you get the idea. We are more concerned with the swing producing exactly what I just said, a repeatable and go-to shot, all right, time after time again, all right, than we ever are on trying to make you look like Adam Scott, all right? I just got back from the Live Golf tournament, and man, I saw more phenomenal golf swings, and I was amazed how different they were, all right? And I've seen a million golf swings in my life, but we happened to be 3 feet away where our little booth was, our little promenade was, I should say. We are 3 feet away from a tee box on a par 3, and it was amazing, the differences in the swings, just absolutely amazing. So amateurs are almost always looking for problems. And when you say that out loud, that's a problem, All right. That is absolutely a problem. So don't even worry about it, right? Everyone has a swing fingerprint, if you would, or swing print, we call it, right? So your swing is going to look like your swing almost no matter what, right? Now, can you make changes to it? Of course you can, right? Can you make it better? Of course you can. But if you're chasing a certain swing and chasing a certain look, if you would, it's not going to work, right? Stick with your ugly swing that produces, and you'll be fine. Just look at Jim Furyk or Matt Wolf, and you'll see ugly swings. Even John Daly, ugly swing. All right. I think other than those couple that I gave you, the last one is probably one of the most important. Is that, look, video is a great tool if you know what you're doing, but when you don't know what you're doing, it really is a poor sense of feedback, if you would. And what I mean by that, good feedback is right away, right, or immediate and clear, crystal clear. And the video is neither of those, right? It's always got a delay, right? That's obvious, right? You got to walk back to your screen and all that. And then there's a time frame when that delay is that you don't even remember what you did in that said swing, right? So it's very difficult to hit a golf ball, feel a certain thing, then watch the video, and then come back and go, oh, you know what? That's correct. I'm going to do that better next time, right? So does it happen? Of course it does. But by and large, all right, that's very difficult to do for an amateur, right? So I think for all the I know for all the reasons that I just mentioned, which is like 5 or 6 of them, all right, stop videoing your swing, all right? If you want to video it in the beginning of a season, or if you're working on something and you want a baseline, I'm all for it. If you want to video your swing once a month to see, where you relate to the baseline, if you would, look, I'm all for it. If you're the guy or girl that comes to the range and has their own tripod and videos their swing every time they practice, you're wasting your time. You are absolutely wasting your time. I guarantee it. I guarantee that's not helping you get better. Take me up on it. All right. So what do you do instead? Right. All right. Well, first of all, you take a lesson, right? Get some professional help. All right. Get someone that gives you a plan. Get someone that shows you really what's going on in your golf swing, and put you on, set a goal, and then set that plan to help you achieve that goal. All right. That's first and foremost. If you don't want to do that, like 80%, 85% of you guys out there don't want to pony up and take a lesson. I get it. Get a launch monitor, right? The launch monitors today I've seen them as cheap as like $150 some. And even a great one is only, under $500. So spend some money on your game, and get a launch monitor, right? Put it behind you. It'll tell you exactly what's going on, all right, in that golf swing. And you can tell by the ball flight and where that ball's going as to what you're doing. We have a whole series on ball flights in previous podcasts. If you haven't listened to them, I highly suggest you do. But that launch monitor will absolutely give you some feedback that's real and germane and accurate, if you would. So that's my last thing. All right, get a launch monitor. All right, and then lastly but not least, look, if you're videoing your swing, I almost guarantee you're watching a lot of golf videos, right? And we did a whole podcast on that when I first started this thing, got a while back, man. But stop watching the videos as well. None of them are made for you, and none of them have seen you swing. So let's get back to some basic things here. Let's get back to the golf is what the ball does theory, right? If you're hooking the ball, your club face is closed and your club face is coming left of the target. If you're slicing the ball, your club face is open and it's going left of the target. So you got to figure that out, right? You got to have that understanding first and foremost before you can do anything. All right. Am I, saying never to video your swing? I'm not. We use it at Imagine Golf sparingly, and it definitely works. All right. For what we use it in our application. We also use it when we can't communicate properly or get through to a student. We show them on top of what we're telling them, and then we actually show them what the feeling is supposed to be like. So it's a piece of what we're trying to get across to a student. It's never the sole thing that we're doing with students. So look, that's all I have today. I'm not sure how this will go over. I'm sure I'll get a bunch of negative comments, But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, it's sound advice. It really is sound advice. So look, that's all I have today. Thanks for listening to today's podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the follow button on wherever you get your podcast. Be sure to check out our site, imaginegolf.com, and follow us on all the social media platforms. And as always, man, here's to getting you the swing you've always imagined.